Do you remember a couple weeks ago, the orange criminal floated the idea of him seeking a $230 million payment from the Department of Justice for supposed harm that he suffered as a result of an illegal investigation and prosecution of him by special counsel Jack Smith? Well, I've got some news on that front that I want to share with you. This whole thing just makes my blood boil. Apparently, Adam Schiff, the senator from California, introduced a bill in the Senate that would block Trump from getting a payment from the Department of Justice. And this bill was brought to my attention by a post that I saw on Twitter this morning from Senator Lindsey Graham. Now, I want to read this, what he posted, and I want to discuss this a little bit. He wrote, "I hope Republicans will not follow Senator Schiff's lead and deny President Trump the ability to sue for damage done to him and his family by Jack Smith and his minions at the Biden Justice Department. My campaign spent $1.2 million defending me in Fulton County, Georgia, at the Fani Willis grand jury, an investigation that was supported by the Biden administration and corrupt to its core. In fact, Fani Willis and members of her team acted so outrageously, they were removed from the case. But what I experienced in Georgia is a fraction of what President Trump and his family experienced. I would encourage President Trump to seek legal recourse for the abuses that were directed at him and his family by Jack Smith, who carried out the most out-of-control weaponization of the law in American history. If there is no consequence for misconduct by the government, you will get more of it." Couple of things before I get to the substance of this criminal piece of shit trying to get a payoff from the DOJ. This part where Lindsey Graham says that my campaign spent $1.2 million defending me. I don't even know how the hell that can be legal. It certainly shouldn't be. He was under criminal investigation for his personal conduct and his campaign, the people who donated to his campaign. He used campaign funds to pay for his own personal criminal defense. Now, I know he will say that he was being investigated for what he did as a part of his official duties as a United States Senator, but that's complete bullshit. A U.S. Senator has no role in state elections or federal elections, because federal elections are conducted by the state. The federal government has no role in conducting elections, not at any level. Certainly not state elections, but not even federal elections. They are conducted by the state. And Lindsey Graham said, well, when he went down to Georgia to try to pressure the Secretary of State there and the governor on Trump's behalf to try to steal the election in Georgia, to throw out votes or add more votes to Donald Trump. Remember, I'm just looking for 11,000 blah, blah, blah votes. You just find me those damn votes. You know, Lindsey Graham was there on Trump's behalf to try to interfere in the election. He committed crimes, okay? That was not part of his official responsibility. A United States Senator has no role. And so this was, no matter what he says, this was his own personal conduct. These were crimes committed by him in his personal capacity. And for him to be able to use campaign funds, oh, that makes me mad. That's number one. Number two, I want to address this Fani Willis. Oh, they acted so outrageously that they were removed from the case. Okay, I'm not defending Fani Willis. She brings on a special prosecutor. You're trying to prosecute a former president of the United States, his chief of staff and other high-ranking people. You need to be as squeaky clean and do everything as by the book as possible. You don't hire a special prosecutor who you're sleeping with. Now, that had no bearing on the case. They should not have been removed from the case. It was good that, I think, what was his name? Wade or whatever. I think he was removed from the case by the judge. he should never have been brought on the case. I have no problem with him being removed, or maybe he resigned from I don't remember exactly how that played out. But that was just freaking stupid. Now, it has no legal bearing on the case. It certainly should not have had any legal bearing on the case, because the only impropriety, two prosecutors in the office sleeping with each other, had nothing to do with bias against the defendants or anything like that. It was stupid, but it shouldn't have, affected the case at all. So this, Lindsey Graham here points to the fact that they were removed from the case as evidence that this was a politically motivated case. They were removed because they were sleeping together, not because of political bias. All right, now finally, let's get to the substance of this. Lindsey Graham, in his tweet, linked to an article that was reporting on this bill filed by Senator Schiff to block Trump from getting any sort of payment from the Department of Justice. Now, I clicked on that article to read more, but it was from Axios, and you had to subscribe to read the damn article. Now, it allowed you to subscribe for free. Just give us your email, and you can subscribe for free and read the article. No. Okay, I don't need to be spammed by Axios sending me 15 emails every single day for the rest of my freaking life until I unsubscribe just to read this one stupid article. I'm so sick of that crap. Anyway, so I wasn't going to do that. And so I tried to find a write-up of this story somewhere else, and I couldn't quickly find one. So I don't know the exact substance of the Schiff bill, but from what I could gather from what Lindsey Graham wrote and what little I can read from the Axios piece, he's trying to block Trump, I don't know, from receiving any kind of payment or from being able to sue or whatever. But Lindsey Graham says, I hope that Republicans will not follow Senator Schiff's lead and deny President Trump the ability to sue for damage done to him. Because, and this is what I want to get to. When Trump first floated this idea of getting this payment, people were wondering, the speculation was, well, how exactly would this work? Would he just order them to cut him a check? I mean, how exactly would this be processed? He's just going to demand money from the Department of Justice that he controls to pay, just demand them to pay him? Or would he file a lawsuit and then he would demand that they settle it? It looks like that's probably what he would do. Why wouldn't he? That's his new thing. He files frivolous lawsuits, and then now because he's president, so when he files a lawsuit against CBS or Paramount or whatever, he files the lawsuit completely frivolous, no chance of winning in court, but then he threatens the other side, you better settle this lawsuit and pay me off or it's going to go very badly for your company. I'll send regulators after you, I won't approve your merger or whatever. It's extortion. Under the guise of a legal settlement. And just because it's a legal settlement, it was actually a lawsuit and they actually settled it and he got money that way, it's no less criminal. Okay, so just because it was done through a lawsuit settlement doesn't mean it's not a crime and doesn't mean Trump can't be prosecuted for it. Because this is bribery. This is extortion. Okay? This is not covered by the Supreme Court's immunity decision. This is one of the things that Democrats need to investigate, and when Trump is out of office, he needs to be prosecuted for. All right, so anyway, why would he not sue the Department of Justice? This is what he does. This is his new cash cow that he and his lawyers decided to this is their new scheme. This is their new racket. Sue people, and then, you demand a settlement. And here, the party he is suing, he controls. So he's going to sue the Department of Justice for the investigation that the Department of Justice conducted through Jack Smith against him. And now he controls the Department of Justice, so he files a lawsuit and then orders the Department of Justice to settle it. It does not get any more corrupt than this. Okay? And I'm glad Senator Schiff is filing this bill, I guess. But it's already illegal to do this. Okay, the Constitution already prohibits Donald Trump, any president, from receiving a penny from the federal government other than his salary. So it's already unconstitutional for him to order the Department of Justice to pay him a friggin' penny. But no, again, I'm glad he's doing this. We'll see what happens. But it does not get any more corrupt than this. Can you imagine if this is allowed to happen? Now, any president can just do this. Any president can file a frivolous lawsuit against his own government and then order his government, whatever agency or department that he sues, just orders them to settle. And we can't do anything about it? I mean, talk about an impeachable freaking offense. It does not get much. I mean, that is corruption. I don't know how you get more corrupt than that. One way or another, this damn well better not be allowed to stand. If he sues the Department of Justice and orders them to settle, or if he just orders them to cut him a check, this better damn well be one of the things that Democrats investigate if they take back Congress or even just the House. They better damn well investigate it, and this better damn well be an article of impeachment. Oh, this just makes my blood boil. We have far and away the most corrupt politician in the history of the country now in the White House. This man is a criminal. He should be in prison, right? It just makes me so damn angry. If people had done what they should have done at every step of the way, not only would this man not be president today, I mean, he would have been impeached and removed. He should have been impeached and removed from office for the first impeachment. That extortion. The second impeachment, he absolutely should have been removed for. If it wasn't for Mitch freaking McConnell, he would have been. He wouldn't have been able to run again. Merrick Garland, Joe Biden, and every step of the way, the people who are responsible for helping to preserve, protect, and defend this republic and this Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic, if any damn one of them had the courage to do their freaking jobs, not only would Donald Trump not be president, but he would be sitting in a federal prison right now.